Hello, this is Michel Leviathan Sorbet and you are watching a new episode on the Wojennik TV YouTube channel. There are some games which are very often considered the best ones in their category. And one of such games, when it comes to economical games, is, without any doubt, Brass. This game, designed by Martin Wallace, was and still is considered one of the best of its kind. A game which depicts the evolution or the economical development of Britain in the late 18th and 19th century. It's a game in which we will be building cotton mills, ironworks, coal mines, in which we will compete in order to acquire the biggest number of victory points and wealth. A game which I discovered some years ago, and since then I considered it the best economical game ever. It's a game which I rated a 10 on Board Game Geek and a game which I acquired in the German version Kohle some years ago. And when I heard that a new version of Brass was meant to be published, I was very eager to try it. Furthermore, this new edition was not only meant to be a reimplementation of the old Brass, but it was also meant to be published in two versions. In the old version, which was renamed as Brass Lancashire, and a new version which was meant to be called Brass Birmingham. The new version, Brass Birmingham, is a game which I would like to show you today during this unboxing. Now, this is not only a copy, a clone of Brass Lancashire, because even the game uses the basic mechanisms, the basic ideas of Brass Lancashire. It's still a very different game. It's a game in which we will find different city locations, different connections, different types of industries, different mechanisms. So it's a game on its own. It's not the same thing, and that's a fantastic thing, because when I heard that this game was meant to be a different one from the old Brass, I was thrilled. I was eager to try it and to compare those two editions. Brass Birmingham was published by Roxley and in Poland by Phalanx, thanks to a successful Kickstarter campaign. And to take a look at the scope of the success this game had, we just can look at the numbers. The campaign, which was launched in order to publish Brass Lancashire and Brass Birmingham, was first created with an objective of gathering 80,000 Canadian dollars. In the end, the project amassed 1,718,000 Canadian dollars. So this shows how many people, nearly 14,000, believed in this project, liked the idea to republish Brass as Lancashire and to launch a new title, Brass Birmingham. Furthermore, today, when I am filming this video, this game, Brass Birmingham, occupies the 9th place on Board Game Geek. So, wow, it's a fantastic success. The designers of this game are Gavin Brown, Matt Tolman and Martin Wallace himself, which is of course credited because he was the author of the original Brass Lancashire. The game is designed in such a way that it can be played by 2 to 4 players. It's meant to be played by players 14 years old or up or higher, and it's a game which will be played in 60 to 180 minutes, but it all depends on the number of players and on their knowledge of the game, because it's a game which really promotes experience. Experienced players will play swiftly, will play much faster. Now, today I would like to show you how this game looks, so how those elegant new components of Brass Birmingham look like. A review will follow shortly after. So let's now take a look at the contents of this box. Here is the extremely elegant box of Brass Birmingham. I love the box cover, I love the artwork, it's just phenomenal. Here on the cover, as you can see, the title of the game, Martin Wallace's name, Matt Tolman and Gavin Brown as the co-authors are also, of course, mentioned. On the bottom we have also the Phalanx logo and Roxley Games logo as well. On the back of the box cover we can see a short description about what the game is meant to be about. We can see that it's a continuation or implementation of Brass Lancashire, but it's not only a copy of Brass Lancashire, it's a completely new game, using of course the core mechanisms of Brass Lancashire, but it is very much different. Also a quick look at the list of the components, but why would I read this to you if I can show you the content of the box? Now, first of all, we receive some plastic bags in which we will be able to store the game elements. As you can see, some discs which will be used by each of the 4 players. Well chosen colors, they are well differentiated one from another. Here we have also some hexagons which will be used during gameplay, and some additional plastic bags hidden also right here. We received some wooden cubes. As you might expect, the same colors had been chosen for coal and iron as it was in Brass Lancashire, so the orange ones will be iron, the black ones will be coal. These 2 resources are still present in Brass Birmingham, but a new resource will be connected to breweries, because in Brass Birmingham we will also have new types of industries, not only cotton mills, we will have breweries which will be used during game in order to accumulate points. The cards, because Brass Birmingham, as it was the case with Brass Lancashire, will be a game where cards will be a major element of the game mechanics. Those cards are, as it was in Brass Lancashire, divided into 2 groups. The first one will be city cards, town cards, for instance Belper or Birmingham or Burton-on-Trent, etc., etc. As you can see, all of those cards with fantastic artwork. I also very much like the back of the cards. It's really appealing to me. Now, the second type of cards will be industries, because part of the cards will be city cards and the second part will be industries. As you can see, some coal mines or some ironworks. We will also still have cotton mills which will be present in Brass Birmingham also, but then breweries, which will be something quite new. Additional types of industries and some special cards also, which will require me to read the rules in order to know how they work. For player 8 cards will also be very useful. Apart from those elements, we will be using some money, I believe, money tokens, which will be used to track maybe the price of some goods. Each player will receive his own player board, as you can see, where he will be able to stock his own tokens with his different types of industries. So, as it was the case in Brass Lancashire, each industry will have a certain level, it will have a certain cost. Sometimes it will require us also to use some resources, as for instance here we will need a piece of coal, here we will need some iron in order to place it on the board, and we also received information how much new resources of the corresponding type will appear on the board. Each player will receive his own board, so as you can see we will need some place in order to place them on the playing area. The rulebook is prepared, of course, in color. It's a high quality rulebook with a nice description of all of the components included in the game. That's something really nice. It's an additional information about the historical characters included in the game. So it also increases the educational aspect of Brass Birmingham. That's a great idea to include them. And I will, of course, read with a great interest all those information about those characters. Then, as you can see, the description of how to set up a game, what are its basic mechanisms, how to count the points, and finally what are the actions, which are really the heart of the game, because it's all about knowing how to use all of your actions, when to use them to maximize your gain at the game's end. The last elements hidden inside this elegant box are, first of all, the tokens which will be used by each player. So we receive 4 counter sheets, one for each player in the corresponding color, as you can see: cotton mills, ironworks, breweries, coal mines, etc., which will be used to construct our economical empire on the board. And how this board looks like? Well, this is a double-sided, sturdy and mounted board, which can be used in one of 2 sides. The first side is the day side, and the second one is the night sides. So we can choose which side to use. As you can see, the day side is much more light than its counterpart. Here we have the cities, the towns, which are part of this opus of the Brass series. The difference is that here we do not have any ports or shipyards, so new types of industries are included. But as it was the case in Brass Lancashire, the cities will be connected one to another with some canals or railroads, and on each space we will have a certain number of slots where industries will be placed. The second side of the board, much darker, as you can see, but representing the same area of Britain. We have some additional tracks where we will be stocking coal tokens or iron tokens, where we will be placing also cards, maybe where we will track the information about the price of ale. I do not know, I have to read the rules. And that's it when it comes to all the components enclosed in this very, very elegant box. Now let's pass on to a very short conclusion. What can I say? The components enclosed in this box are truly breathtaking. I have absolutely no idea why I decided to skip the Kickstarter campaign and to acquire this game only recently. It's a masterpiece. It's fantastic. It's so pleasant to look at those components that I am very eager now to try them and to sort them, to play my first game of Brass Birmingham. I'm very curious to see how this game will work compared to its elder brother. I already said at the beginning of this video that Brass Lancashire is my favorite economical game, a really fantastic game which always creates fantastic emotions, gameplay, and I am very curious to know if Brass Birmingham is even better. I have seen so many good comments, so many positive comments about this new game, about this new Brass version, that I am so eager to try it and to see by myself if this is even a better game than the old Brass. If it is, well, I think it will be very difficult to surpass this level. It is a game which already was fantastic. If it is even better, I cannot see any possibility that a new game could be even better. This was the unboxing of Brass Birmingham. A review of this game will follow shortly on our channel. Up until then, I invite you to look at our other videos. We have some unboxings, we have also some reviews. Have a fantastic day and see you next time.